Hello, I'm Mason Marangella from Vertex Effects, aka The Rig Doctor, and today I'm building a rig for my good buddy, Asher Belsky. If you don't know Asher, he's one of the most phenomenal young guitar players that's on the come up right now. Amazing chops, and he's still a teenager. It's unbelievable how great he sounds. Now, Asher and I have been in touch with each other over the last few months and talked about what he might want on his first pro-grade rig. Now, I gotta give it to Asher. Even though he had never had his rig built professionally, the rig that he was working with before had some pretty great pedals and was reasonably well built for somebody that's still in high school. But what our goal is today is to retrofit this for him, put it on one of our travel light pedal boards, and really make it easy for him so that he can go to the gigs. He can have a nice compact rig that's 17 inches by 11 inches. It's got that tier so he can flip stuff up. And he wants to add some new routing options so that he can run a split amp, so two mono amplifiers receiving the same signal. And he also wants a patch point or an audition loop where he can bring in a volume pedal between his overdrive and distortion devices and the time-based devices. So we're gonna see what we can do for him. Asher's gonna drop off his stuff to me shortly. Because we're during COVID, we're just gonna do a quick drop off where he's just gonna leave the pedals with me. We're not gonna do a meet. So the next thing that you're gonna see is me getting into the actual building, where I'm just gonna start time-lapsing the power, the audio, all that stuff. And then we'll meet back up with Asher, get his take, run you through a nice demo, and see what we got. As I said before, we're using a Vertex travel light pedal board for this build. We'll link in our store description if you're interested in picking one of these guys up. They are fantastically built pedal boards, all made in the USA, powder coated and laser cut to order. This build was a lot easier than I was expecting. Everything is going in series in front of the amp. There's no trickery. It's all just straight series, one pedal into the next. We've got a couple of cool little things that we're doing for Asher with the volume pedal loop, but we're going to show you a little bit more on that later. Let's head to my office and give this thing a sound check. All right, so we finished this rig just yesterday, and we're about to go and head to meet Asher at the studio a little later this afternoon. But I wanted to show you the completed product before we take it to Asher. So let me run you through exactly what we have on the signal path. I'll do a little tiny demonstration, but we really want to save up the good stuff for Asher. So let's check it out. So first things first, follow me under here. I'm going to open up the top, and the first thing that I have the guitar coming into is the interface. The interface has a buffered input, which goes directly into the Polytune. The Polytune then comes upstairs, hits the Cali 76 compressor, great compressor. Then from the Cali, it goes back downstairs to the Q-tron. Q-tron then goes into the Herculean, then Janray, then back upstairs to the Steel String Supreme. Then it goes to our insert point, which again is back underneath the hood here. There's a volume send and return. So I have a volume pedal out here to my right just to show that that works. And if I were to unplug the volume pedal from that send and return, it would just normalize and send the signal through. I have a diagram on exactly how to do this if you want to do that to any sort of custom DIY buffer interface box you want. I'll show you how to do that, so do check that out. That's in the links. Then it goes to the Strymon Volante, then to the Flint, then back downstairs into the interface box where I have a buffered splitter so you can go to 2 amps. It's still mono, but it's getting 2 of the same amps. Guys like Robin Ford like doing this to give their sound and their notes a little bit more thickness. So Asher's got the same thing going here. But let's just look at a couple of the different tones that we got and just make sure everything's working. Again, this is maiden voyage, so this is as new to me as it is to you guys right now on the screen. So let's make sure we got it. So clean tone. Let's make sure the tuner's working. Always good to make sure you're in tune. And what do you know? Not in tune. All right, so we're in tune. Let's go to the first pedal in the chain, which is our Cali 76. Sounding good. Let's go to the next thing in the chain, the Q-tron. Let's check out this Herculean. That's sounding killer. I like how that's kind of dark and gritty. Let's now go to the Volante, which is the cool Strymon pedal. I'm just using Asher's settings. We'll probably get into that more with him, but here's his favorite. Pretty judicious with the delay. Let's go to standard. Everything's working great. I like how it came out. Looks beautiful, nice and lightweight. I think the next thing we got to do is just go over to the studio, bring this to Asher, see what he thinks, have him take us through it. So follow us over there. We're going to go and see what this thing can really do in the hands of a true professional, Asher Belsky. Let's do it.
Wow. That's the rig doctor's done it. Oh, that's sick. Hi, I'm Asher Belsky. I'm a professional triangle player. I play the guitar. I'm 15 years old. I'm from here in the Bay Area. And we're here checking out my new rig that the rig doctor put together. And I love it. So first we hit this tuner, and that is the most toneful pedal out of all of them. It's my secret weapon.
Wait, you have two tuners though.
See, that's the other part, is 2 tuners is more tone. Anyway, from the tuner, we hit this Cali 76. And the way that I look at this pedal is it's my sustain pedal. It's basically when I'm going through the shreds and I need more shreds, I click on the Cali. Oh no, I don't have enough sustain. So, sustain. Then we hit this Q-tron. And for those of you who don't live in the Bay Area or don't know about the Bay Area, just north is a place called Marin. And there's a club there called Terrapin Crossroads. Pre-pandemic, I sat in there a lot. My band plays there. And it's Phil Lesh's club, so a lot of Dead music, Grateful Dead. And you can't play Dead without an envelope filter. Then we hit the Herculean, and I tried this pedal at NAMM. Zach showed it to me. I've kind of been in search for, like, I'm a huge tube screamer person. I always got to have a tube screamer on my board. And then if you want to stack it with, like, the Jan Ray, or let's add the seal string, the Supreme. But one of my favorite tones is this stacked with the Jan Ray. City. Next, we hit the Steel String Supreme. I'm still getting to know this pedal. I originally had the new and improved steel string on there, the Mark II. So you still have that right here. Since I have a clean boost side of this, I don't necessarily set the steel string as a volume boost, just more as like a preamp if I'm like backlining or I want that dumble sound. So it sounds great. It sizzles a little bit, so sometimes I'll keep the gain down a little more and bring the level up. And then the Supreme, I really like. It's like I said, it's a fat boost. Just kind of like a clean boost with more oomph. Yeah, so off, on. So if we open this up, we can reveal this awesome interface that Mason has built. And it looks very confusing, but it's actually very simple. We have a volume pedal send. Here, that's the return. Send and return. And basically how I have it set up is all drive-y things. It's loose because there's also a Q-tron and a compressor. But I keep after the volume pedal. So imagine you're having all your drive pedals here and then they plug into the volume pedal. But I like to have trails on all my time-based effects. So my volante and my flint. So this is acting like it's before. So it's kind of like if you take the signal out of the seal string and go into the volume pedal, and then from the volume pedal into these. And it allows me, because what I love to do is, especially in a band setting, if you want to keep your gain, but you want to get rid of some of your volume if you're too loud or someone else is soloing, with the volume pedal in front of everything, it messes with your gain structure, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So yeah, if I'm like... It's not changing any of the gain structure and any of the tone. And by the way, this is the new Ernie Vol volume pedal tuner that they were kind enough to send me. And just if I wanted to keep it compact or if I don't need it, I wanted to be able to still run the board and not have to have it in a chain. So I can actually unplug these two cables and my guitar still comes through. But then the other cool feature is this split mono amp. So right now we are running 2 amps. We got my trusty deluxe and this awesome Headstrong that the studio had. The next is my Volante. I love this pedal and I set it. I've always liked kind of like 2 delay sounds. I like a short delay and a long delay. So on the favorite, I have just a short kind of slap. It's a little longer than a slap, but and then on this side, so you can actually see the settings, I just have more of a quarter note. And then finally we have the Flint. I use this reverb side for 2 different things. If I'm playing through an amp that doesn't have reverb, I'll switch it over to 60s, and I will use that as my spring. But I like using the 70s plate reverb for my rig to add kind of a more kind of studio sound, longer, little more wet, because I'm a huge reverb fan. So... it sounds like a record. It sounds like a really big solo, really big guitar tone. So I really like it. And then here, I used to have a phaser on this board, and I took it off. And I'm a huge harmonic tremolo fan. So that kind of replaced my modulation, but I really love how it sounds. And I love this intensity knob too, because I can get really throbby. Like almost Hendrixy, like that's kind of how I set everything and how I use it. And what I love about this board is that everything's just right there. It's really, really easy to access. I didn't really want any switchers or loop switchers or anything. Just having everything really accessible because I'm always constantly changing knobs with my feet. So yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted and more. I'm extremely impressed, really happy, really excited to be playing with this rig. Yeah, and please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell wherever here it will be dinging, and pledge your undying allegiance to the Rig Doctor. All hail the Rig Doctor. See you next time. Did you know that the moon shines brighter when you come through? With tears on your cheek, reflecting the vase in my living room. The scene gets you every time. The girl says that she loves him too. Well, I wonder why. The stop sign has never looked so peculiar to me. My motivation only wants to push ahead. With you in the night, I think that I need you. And if you wonder